Brilliant. So thank you very much for coming. Today's session is about talent pipeline and social responsibility to support pre-employment programs that inspire a future workforce. So it's about that step before employment. How can we inspire the next generation of workforce? How can we do things differently? So today's session is going to look a bit like this. So I'll introduce kind of what my job role is, what it means for the trust. I'm going to do a bit of an activity about recognising our privileges. What privileges do we not realize we don't have? Talk about the talent pipeline. Then I'm really pleased to introduce a guest speaker from Leeds Health and Care Academy. Talk about the benefits and impacts, how to get involved, and then lastly, there's kind of key final takeaways. So what is widening participation then? So you may have seen me before around the trust. I've been in the post since 2021. You might have seen me in things like the Kickstart scheme, with the Armed Forces work and getting accreditations and silver and gold awards, online virtual collaborative recruitment fairs, work experience, international recruitment support. So my portfolio is really varied. You may have seen me out and about in the trust. But what is WP in general? So it's about removing barriers to kind of eventual employment. So it's members of the community who are disadvantaged or they live in deprived areas. It's opportunities for everyone. So regardless of your background, your socioeconomic status, it's not just for the privileged few. And opportunities could be not just recruitment, but it could also be promotions, training, career progression, everything kind of that would help people develop in their role. Better provide equity, so everybody gets the same opportunity. And some people might just need a little bit more support to get to the same place as their peers. So notice the word eventual employment there. So whilst employment is the end goal, a talent pipeline might be about recognising talent early or inspiring that talent, having social responsibility, welcome them to your workforce in a few years' time. So why is it important then? So to me, widening participation should be in everyone's interest. If you have been lucky enough in your career not to experience any barriers to your employment, you're one of the privileged few. But for those of us who have, you understand the importance of using your experience to ensure it doesn't continue to happen to others. There's a great deal of people in local communities who are unemployed or underemployed who can offer such rich life experiences and values that align to our own and can fill that workforce gap that we have, but who are unable to because they don't have the resources or experiences to help them get on that career or learning ladder. That's why roles like mine exist, to support people and ensure that in the future workforces are more diverse in all its forms. And in the NHS, of course, WP is mentioned. So in the people plan, it states that it seeks to have a workforce as representative of the society that it serves. That's kind of my key statement that really drives my work. So that's kind of what widening participation is in a nutshell. Happy to kind of talk about this more in one-to-one conversations if it's of interest. But now I'm going to introduce a bit of an activity for everyone on the call today. And for those watching the recording, you can do this in your own time as well. So this activity is called Privilege for Sale. So I've made a list of 10 privileges. And as you entered the call today, you have lost all of your privileges. I've taken away all of your privileges. And you need to buy them back from me. So each one of those 10 costs £100. And I'm giving you £500 to spend. So which of those privileges are you going to buy back from me? Okay, so things in that list include a privilege of having a name in the UK that people rarely get wrong or find it easy to remember. Being able to get a job opportunity because you know somebody who works there. Having English as a first language, having a degree. Not having a disability or an invisible illness. And not having your intelligence questioned due to your accent or the way you speak. So I will stop the recording now for people on the call. And we'll work this activity together, or you can do it in your own time. So moving on then, so onto the talent pipeline. So whole purpose of this presentation, what is it about? So kind of key questions then. So do you have a shortage of staff and you wonder where the future workforce will come from? So we know that university cohorts aren't as big as they used to be for professions like nursing, for example, and university shouldn't be the only route into any role anymore either. So what else can we do? Now, talent pipeline isn't going to be a quick fix recruitment solution. You won't get somebody tomorrow applying for a job. It might take years, but it's about raising aspirations, inspiring, promoting. You know, has to begin somewhere. So in the roles you are in today, who inspired you to get into your job role? There must have been something that you've seen or heard or you're interested in to get there. So we have that responsibility, that social responsibility, to pass that on to the next generation, to inspire, to raise those aspirations, to promote the job roles that we have. And that kind of forms into that step before employment. So we want to encourage someone into eventual employment or further study. And to do that, we need to kind of offer them some experiences, whether that's work experience, further training, some kind of internship program, anything that can help them just give a bit of a taste and see if they might enjoy being in that profession. After all, that kind of statement, you cannot be what you cannot see. And if you can kind of see yourself in the industry, or you see yourself reflected in the industry, you're much more likely to get involved. And like the conversation we've had previously, if you don't know somebody or who already works there, it's even harder because you don't know if you'll enjoy it because you've not seen it firsthand. That's kind of what talent pipeline means in this situation. So I'm really pleased to introduce my guest speaker for today, Anya Macbeth from the Leeds Health and Care Academy, who'll explain a little bit more about the work we do collaboratively and what they do to help this talent pipeline. Over to you, Anya.
Thanks, Emily. I'm going to try share a PowerPoint. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. If somebody can give us a nod once it comes up.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
We can see it.
Thanks, Emily. So yeah, hello everybody. My name is Anya Macbeth, and I'm here to talk to you about something called the Leeds Health and Care Talent Hub and how we can look at recruiting differently. So the Talent Hub is part of something called Leeds Health and Care Academy. We're a funded organisation by the 5 statutory partners across Leeds. So the 3 NHS trusts, Leeds City Council and the Integrated Care Board. And our main purpose is really to create better integration of health and social care workforce in Leeds and realise the potential of our one workforce. So working together through planning, delivering and learning. But as I said before, I specifically work on the Talent Hub. So the Talent Hub is a citywide service, and we connect the people of Leeds into either a career, training, work experience or volunteering opportunities, and that's right across the health and social care sector. The Talent Hub supports people to achieve their potential, so by providing a fully holistic and person-centred approach. We go out engaging and recruiting in our most disadvantaged communities. And this approach enables the Talent Hub to contribute towards that narrowing inequalities in our city and ensuring that the diversity of Leeds' health and care workforce better reflects the people that it serves. So we can engage with community partners across Leeds. So these are organisations that work closely with groups of people. So for instance, charity groups, community groups, and the Department of Work and Pensions, Employment and Skills. Individual candidates can self-refer into the Talent Hub or via our website. And destination partners are organisations where we place candidates. So this doesn't always mean necessarily as an employer. It could be college if they require further training or volunteering to gain more hands-on experience. So why would you use the Talent Hub? So we actively work in our communities. So we've learned that actually going into communities and connecting with those individuals is far more powerful than any traditional advertising, social media campaigns or recruitment platforms. We challenge and alter standard recruitment practices. So we use something called a flipped recruitment method, and it's quickly becoming our partners' preferred method of recruiting. It's holistic in its approach, valuing the individual rather and their contributions beyond their ability to write against the job description. We adapt to our partners' needs, so we offer solutions for hard to fill roles. And we also look at fast track processes. So these have been established through hidden talent pathways, supporting people with previous experience and qualifications into employment through pre-screening and connecting straight into our partners' resourcing teams. And our candidates are engaged in what we do and what we deliver. And over 20% of the referrals that we have in the Talent Hub come from recommend a friend. Once the candidate is placed, our support doesn't stop there. We have a dedicated resource that keeps in contact with the candidate 1 month after the date of offer, and then 3 months, every 3 months, up to 18 months. We have 4 established pre-employment programmes that support the development of the talent pools in line with workforce need across the sector. So these include customer service in you and careers in care, and also 2 new ones, which is care navigators and residential practitioners. So each of our courses have been co-designed and co-delivered with our partners. Our pre-employment programmes are designed to put the candidate first, so really enabling them to take simulated practice in a safe environment, allowing them to make an informed decision about whether the role is right for them. Our pre-employment programmes run between 1 and 4 weeks in collaboration with Leeds City College and Learning Partnerships, and they give candidates a real introduction into their chosen career. Each candidate that attends one of our courses as well gains an accredited qualification in one of the following. So moving and handling level 2, paediatric first aid, or BTEC level 1 in customer service. And at the end of our courses, all our candidates are shown vacancies across the sector and interviewed for roles by our partners. If the candidate is appointable, they'll link straight into your normal onboarding process. We had 2 courses that ran in October, and 100% of those candidates all achieved their accredited qualification, and already 73% of those candidates have secured employment through the Talent Hub. So what can we do to offer Leeds York Partnership? So we can support you to look at recruitment differently, or potentially feed your vacancies through these programmes. Something we've successfully implemented for Leeds Teaching Hospitals, Trainee Clinical Support Worker Academy, residential practitioners in Leeds City Council, and care navigators for the primary care network. Our flipped recruitment model was designed, implemented and evaluated under the Narrow Inequalities project, and has now been business as usual within the Talent Hub for the last year. Through flipping the recruitment model, we've demonstrated the ability to reduce the time to hire by up to 6 weeks, reduce associated recruitment costs, leading to improvement in candidate experience whilst driving efficiencies for the system as well. The Talent Hub is a service offered by the Academy to all our partnerships, and I just wanted to draw your attention to some of the positive feedback that partners have given us recently about the candidates and the use of the flipped recruitment model. So as you can see, feedback suggests candidates are engaged, committed, enthusiastic and knowledgeable about their roles. And the recruitment model saves time and workload for organisations who currently recruit via the Talent Hub. I wanted to share with you a few figures to showcase how the Talent Hub is making a difference across the sector. So this is just this year. So from April 2003 to present, we had 719 expressions of interest into the hub, and 21% of these candidates were from deprived areas across Leeds. 75% were from a non-white British background, and 215 of those candidates came to our assessment centres. So before the pre-employment programme, they go through a math and an English assessment. So even if you have no GCSEs, no grades, no qualifications, it doesn't matter to us. We could be able to look at that. Out of those candidates, 92 have already been supported into employment, and 80 have been put on pre-employment programmes, and 76 of those 80 have been achieved accredited qualifications. And we also look at retention rates. So as I said, once that candidate's placed, the support doesn't stop there. So at 12 months of being in the Talent Hub, it's 95% retention rate. For my final slide, I wanted to share with you a few stories about how flipping the recruitment method has made a huge difference to candidates' lives in Leeds. Through connecting into our local communities, we're giving people who never thought they had the chance the opportunity to look at a career in the health and care sector. Manashi was a candidate who came through our Customer Service and You programme and was awarded the Demonstrating Accountability Award at Leeds Teaching Hospitals Apprenticeship Awards. Through our collaborative working with Employment and Skills and the Job Centre, we've also supported a young lady into housing and then into employment, where over a year ago she was sleeping rough in Roundhay Park. She's now an apprentice clinical support worker, and on her 5th shift, she received the Great X Award for helping her ward, for working so hard and always offering to help people. We've all supported a gentleman called Saeed, who was 72 and was turned away from many roles because of his age. When we spoke to him, he wanted to do as many shifts as possible as his son had fallen into the wrong crowd, and he wanted to earn as much money as possible so he could send him to private school. These are only a handful of stories as to how we've made a difference to people's lives across Leeds by basically giving them a chance. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share our successes with you, and we've had, and I hope I've been able to encourage you to look at recruitment differently. Does anybody?
Thank you very much. I mean, those stories as well are just so brilliant here. So we need our Leeds and York versions of them. We need to have our own brilliant stories to shout about, and you know, we can't do that without support from colleagues on the call, really. So, and colleagues who are watching this in the recording. So if you do identify any vacancies, opportunities, get them across to us. So I send a lot of emails, a lot of Trustwide. So look out in comms, look out for your emails for me to kind of for that call of actions, because you know we can't do it without that, you know, without those vacancy opportunities. So and you might think as well, I'm not a manager, I've got no influence. Everybody has influence on this call, regardless of what position you are, because we all have team meetings, we all can speak to managers, recruiting managers. You can share what you've seen today, bring it back to your team and say, listen, I know we've got this band 3 admin vacancy that keeps going out, doesn't get recruited to. Why don't we do it differently? I've heard a brilliant speaker from Leeds Health and Care Academy. Let's get out there. So everybody on the call today does have influence to get those opportunities out and really make a difference to people's lives. And hopefully one day we can get our own kind of Leeds and York brilliant stories. Thank you very much, Anya, for coming along. Really, really brilliant here. Very inspiring. Thank you. So I'm going to move on now to the benefits and impacts. So Anya's already kind of really shared the brilliant benefits and impacts already to kind of taking part in these kind of programs. So as mentioned, reducing health inequalities, that's a huge driver across the city of Leeds and across nationally. So, you know, it does make a difference to people's lives. They can live healthier, better lives. They're getting salaries, housing, you know, and they can support their families as well. So for that driver, a really benefit, a positive thing. Improve service user care. Now this is kind of what drives us all, really. So this will impact this because you're increasing relatability in your staff and different life experiences, different cultures, and that in turn might have an impact to improve service user care because you're having those different layers of staff that you wouldn't normally have. Lived experience is really valuable as well. Again, it can help with that relatability. It can help inform care in our services as well, if we hire those who have lived experience. It's a positive news story for the trust. You know, we're seen as a good place to work, news travels fast, and that in turn, word can spread and somebody else can tell somebody else, and then we boost our vacancy numbers and applicant rate, and we're seen as a brilliant positive place to work, which is only a good thing. You can support someone who can then inspire their family. So like we kind of said at the start, how many colleagues do you know that have gone into health and care because their mum, their dad, their auntie worked here? So that had a return effect as well. So we could inspire somebody on a course. They could then tell their daughter, their niece, nephew, and they might want to then work for us as well. So again, it has that kind of trickle down effect. Also, it's a really good boost of morale in teams as well. So it can aid retention in your teams because it kind of makes you reflect on your own career. As you're taking part in maybe training course or work experience, you can take on a position of maybe a bit more supervisory experience. It's really good for your professional development. It makes you reflect on your own career and also makes you kind of think what you love about the role. It can really refresh your role for you. So it's a really good boost for teams to take part in programs like this because it can really kind of see it from the other side. So it can really help with retention, for example. So how to get involved then? So you've heard everything we've had to say today and you're really keen. What can you do to help? So these are kind of a few short to mid-term programs that you can get involved in that will help somebody make that first step to get the job that they want with us. So plain and simple, work experience. We relaunched a work experience policy in the trust this year. So it's new and refreshed. It's a really equitable process now. It removes those kind of ad hoc requests that you might get. It removes that kind of nepotism angle that only people who know someone can get into a work experience. It's a really fair process. Already this year, we ran it with 3 services: Red Kite View, Human Resources and the research team so far. For a bit of context, in the research team, we had 54 applications for work experience, and 34 of those were from individuals in the most deprived postcodes in Leeds. 8 of them were not currently in any form of education, employment or training. Everyone who took part afterwards said that the confidence increased, and they'll use that as evidence in their applications and job interviews. So that new work experience policy can be found on StaffNet. And please kind of take a look and see how you can get involved. If you do get requests for work experience, or you think we do have a slot we can fit it in, speak to me first, and then we'll work together to make sure we can get that out there and get some really good people to give someone a chance to really hear the opportunities you're offering. Supported internships. So they are an internship programme that supports somebody with a learning disability. It's a structured educational plan. We work with an education provider called Lighthouse Futures Trust, and it's really timely. So this next week is International Day for People with Disabilities. So really kind of, like to see more services get involved with supported internships. We already have a service interested, but the education provider we're working with does need a minimum of 3 people to get involved in. So the more services we can get on board, the better, because it means that everyone can get a chance of hosting it. It's a very structured programme. Run like an internship during the day with an educational provider for people with learning disabilities. I've got tons of examples, evidence that I can share afterwards with anyone interested. And it's a really, really brilliant way of kind of, again, increasing diversity of our teams and offering somebody who might not ordinarily get that chance to get involved in the workplace. Project Hope is it's a one-time project currently, but we do hope it might get expanded. Project Hope looks after people who have been in care, and it offers them a chance of employment. So care leavers up to the age of 25. It's an ICB initiative to get them a chance of employment for a short-term internship. We are currently going ahead with this year within the applications team. We're really pleased they're taking part in this. So it should be a really positive story for us. So again, it's just an example of what else projects we get funded for, ICB gets funded for, national government initiatives we get given that you could get involved in. T-levels. The T-levels are, again, a new qualification offered by the government, alternative to A-levels for age 16 to 19-year-olds at colleges. And it's an industry placement, essentially. Our role is offering an industry placement for T-level students. So it's 45 days a year. They come into the trust, do 2 days a week, hands-on activities. At the minute, we're offering T-levels in health. So it's those kind of candidates looking to go into nursing, for example. So far, we've run T-levels in supported living services and in the community learning disability team so far. We'd love to get expanded into other services. And it's a great opportunity for, again, different level of young people who might not go to university, who might jump straight into employment, and a real chance of getting them young. Schools and colleges engagement. So again, I go out to schools and colleges where I can, do workshops, do careers fairs, and really kickstart that engagement with them and really inspire them, so they understand that young people are very influenced by the people around them, what they see in the media. We've got the opportunity to kind of change what they see, really, and we really inspire them to think about careers that they've probably never heard of before. A lot of young people know doctors and nurses, but do they know the whole wide range of things you can do in the NHS? Probably not. So we've got a real responsibility in Leeds and York to really go out there, especially those schools and colleges that are in the more deprived areas, to really inspire and engage. But I must say that although a lot of those are young people, not everything is related to young people. You know, a lot of times we think work experience is just for like year 10s or 14-year-olds to get involved in. It's absolutely not. A lot of these programs, especially work experience, is for adults of any age who might need that boost for their application or for their interview. It just needs that, again, that extra step to be at the same level as their peers. So it isn't just young people. I know that can kind of put a lot of people off the trust because of safeguarding issues, but it is not just young people. Okay. Very lastly then, my final takeaways for today. Key thing is, what's the harm in engaging? Hopefully you kind of listened to us today and thought it sounds pretty good. What's stopping you, basically? What's the harm in just giving it a go? whether it's offering a vacancy for a programme, whether it's offering 1 day work experience. What is the harm in engaging? I've mentioned it previously, but it has been found to boost morale in individuals, aid retention in teams, really refresh your role for you. And naturally, by supporting these programmes, you will encourage more diverse applicants to apply, because we're reaching out to different communities in Leeds and York, more diverse communities. So we'll naturally see a different set of candidates apply, which is always a good thing. Okay, so this is me. That's my contact details. So my email address is there, and my StaffNet page as well. Please take a look at that. Lots of information on there, ways to get involved. But equally, if you want to reach out and have a one-to-one call, more than happy to do so as well. And likewise, if you'd like a visit face-to-face, myself, Sam, and our other team members in the apprenticeship and widening participation team, we'd be more than happy to come along to your service, meet you all in person, see how you work, and talk about opportunities then as well. So we like to get out and about, so please do get in touch, because we are here to support you, and we can only do our work with your support as well. Thank you very much for your time. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask.